Hello everyone, my name is Safira, and so here I want to explain about JavaScript and triggers in Process Maker. So for JavaScript, we can use JavaScript in Dynaform to customize behavior from the form that we intend to make. So for the way to use this, let's go straight to it. Here I want to add JavaScript code in report form Dynaform. To edit the JavaScript that we chose, in this gray area, so on the JavaScript, we click Edit. So we can add the JavaScript code here. Here, I want to add the notification. For example, a user fills out the form, but they don't fill out the email address. Now, here I want to send the notification to give a warning for them to fill out the email address. The code has already been provided in the module, so we can just copy it. So this is the code. So the point is, this code does an email validation. And so, for example, the email isn't filled out. And later, there will be a notification whether you're sure not to enter an email. And if it is certain that we don't want to fill the email, it will be submitted without an email. But if the notification is cancelled, the form will ask them to fill out the form again to enter the email. So let's go straight to the preview. We won't fill out the email and we submit it. And here I will show the way. I'll fill out the form. So we won't fill out the email. We submit it. Okay, and so there's a notification. If we cancel this, the form will go straight to the email address column. So if we're certain not filling out the email address, the email will still be submitted empty. Okay, so I want to add another information about the JavaScript. I want to add a notification to list items that have already been entered. In Dynaform, and later on, will be displayed in the notification. The code is in the module, so we can copy it and paste. And so the point of this code is it will confirm again or display again data that have been entered in the grid before in the Dynaform in the notification. So you could read it again. It could be read again. Or it is used to confirm it again by the one who's going to submit it. This code here will validate email. Here you can see the code. It is used to validate email. And this code here, yes, it is for validating the previous email. So we only add another code on top of the code before. So there are two codes. So we click save and preview. Okay, we submit it. Later on, there will be a notification like this. So if we click cancel, it won't be submitted. But if we click OK, there will be an email notification that the email hasn't been filled out. like this. After this, I will explain about the triggers in Process Maker. So what is a trigger? Basically, the trigger is a code in PHP programming language that we can use to increase the functionality from the process that we made. So, corresponding to the one in the model, I want to make two functionalities. And the first one is I want that when the clerk fills out the report data form from before, so for the field name, address, and email address, it will be filled out automatically and it will be a few only. So it will be automatically filled and it can't be edited by the clerks. Okay, so that's the first. Second, I want to make it so the data that is filled out by the clerks will be sent to the database externally. So let's go straight to making the first trigger. We click triggers and we click create. We fill out the title and the descriptions. For the code is already in the module, so we can copy it straight away. So basically, this code is for the variable name that we've made. That one is to fill out the name filled in the data form. Address variable is to fill out the address, and email address for email. So later on, it will be filled with the clerk process maker's account user info that fills out that form automatically. User info first name and last name are in the name field. User info address is in the address field, and the user info mail is in the email address field. So later, the trigger will be activated before the data form appears. The method to activate it before the data form will be explained in the next video. For add requester will be explained and be used in the next step. So we click save and we close it. So we go to the data form, we edit the report form, we edit the form so it'll be view only. For name, we can set the display mode to be view. We also change the email address to display mode. We change the email address as display mode. We also change the address to view. And so we preview it. So later on, it will be like this. It can only be viewed and we can't enter anything. And if we've activated the triggers and the process has been run, this field will be filled with the name from the process maker account of the person who started the form. And so let's save it first. Okay, so the first functionality is finished. Now I want to make the second functionality, which is how to connect an external database. Okay, for this, I'll just follow it according to the module. So with this external database, we can use databases not only from the PM tables, but also from other external databases that have access, such as Azure and also like Google Cloud. So the first way, let's see. Okay, first we have to make the database on the external server. So for example, if you guys already have your own database like Google Cloud and Azure that has MySQL, you can fill the information according to your own database. But if you don't have any, we could use the database that the process maker has. The process maker has its own MySQL database. We could access the database, but we have to use SSH or secure shell. Because if we accessed it directly from PHP myadmin like this, it wouldn't work because of security reason. We can see here. But say if you are to access it from a laptop and not from a server, then you could access it directly. We can see here. But, well, because we are using Azure, we have to use the SSH tunneling. So we could do it by using a program called PUTTY, or you could use just command line. In this video, I'm going to explain how to do it using the command line. If you want to use the PUTTY, you can read more on the website that I'm showing here, and I'll give you the link in the description. Well, first, to access the PHP myadmin from 127.0.0.1 or localhost, we have to download the .pem key from the Bitnami settings, .pem key. So say if you have downloaded the .pem file, that file, and that file is put to the C folder, but make sure that your downloads is a .pem file. After that, we cut the file, then we go to C folder, then go to the users folder, and then to the folder with the name of your user. And then we paste the file there. After that, open the command line. And after you open the command line, here we search for command line, then open it. And after that, we put in this command. I'll tell you the command on the description. And then we copy the command and then we paste it in the command line. Control V. For this 52.188.4.106 IP, change it according to your Azure server IP. And like, for example, for my server, it's 52.188.4.106. And after that, type Bitnami. After the dash I, after that, press tab. It's usually placed next to the Q button. The .pem file will automatically appear because we moved it before. After that, click enter. If it has appeared like this, then it means it's successful. After that, open from localhost. Here, let's see. I set the port to 8888, but you can set this port to any number, 1234777 etc. But for me, I set it to 8888. After that, a login page will appear. The username is root, and the password is the same default password that you use to log into the process maker in Azure. If you filled it, click Go. The PHP My Admin will show. After that, we create a new database by clicking this new button here. We enter transactions on this field, then we click Create. Now that we've made the database, let's now create a table. Let's check the module. The table name here will be reported underscore invoice underscore item. There are 4 attributes, and after that, we click Go. And then we fill the attributes. First, there's ID. The length is 11. After that, there's quantity. Its length is also 11. Then we fill the next field with description. Its type is varchar, length 255. And the last one is unit underscore price with decimal type. Its length is 15.2. After that, check the auto increment box for the attribute ID. We check the I point box here. And then if it's all done, click Save. Okay, so the table is finished. Now I want to edit one more thing. First, we click Home, the house icon. After that, we click Variables, then search for SQL mode variable. Here, delete this only underscore full underscore group underscore by, because if we don't, then process maker will encounter an error when we go to participated cases list. This error will appear. So now we have to delete this. We click Edit, right click select all, then click Copy, then paste it to Notepad. Delete the only underscore full underscore group underscore by, then we copy again the text, we select all, then after that we paste it here. After that, click Save. Thereafter, we go back to our process maker, click Database Connections, then click Create. We fill the server field with localhost. For database is transaction, the username is root, and the password is the same password you use to log into PHP My Admin. And for the port, we set it to port 3306. We can also see the port directly from PHP My Admin. We click test connection. Okay, it's successful. So now we click Save. After we've made the database connection, we copy the database ID by clicking Show ID in database connection. See, we copy database ID by clicking Show ID in the database connection. Then, let's see. We create the trigger. For the title, it's Submit Invoice Items. And for the code, we can copy it directly from the module. After we finish copying, click Save. So we check again the Submit Invoice item. I almost forgot, we have to change the connection first. We change it with the one in the database connections. I'll repeat it again. We change it with the one in the database connection. Okay, now that we've changed the connections, click Save. This all should work. And so we just have to configure when the trigger will start. Thank you.